What if I told you adversity isn't your enemy, but your greatest ally? Let's pause for a moment and ponder upon this. The notion might seem paradoxical, but the essence of this statement is deeply rooted in the concept of mental toughness, a trait often misunderstood yet highly coveted. Mental toughness, in its simplest form, is our ability to cope with challenges, withstand pressures, and bounce back from setbacks. It is the grit we demonstrate in the face of adversity and the resilience we show when times are tough. It's not about avoiding hardship or running from difficulties. Rather, it's about developing the strength to face these trials head-on and emerging stronger, wiser. Now, where does adversity come into the picture? Adversity, or the hardships we face, is not something we invite willingly into our lives. But what if we reframe our perspective and see adversity not as a foe, but as a friend? A friend that pushes us out of our comfort zone, forces us to confront our fears, and compels us to grow. Adversity, in its raw and unfiltered form, is a powerful tool for building mental toughness. It strips us down to our core, exposing our vulnerabilities and weaknesses. But in that moment of exposure, it also provides us the opportunity to confront these weaknesses, to work on them, and to transform them into strengths. Every setback, every failure, every obstacle we encounter is an opportunity to develop our mental toughness. It's like a muscle that needs to be worked on, strengthened, and developed. The more we face adversity, the stronger this muscle becomes. Think of adversity as life's personal trainer, pushing you to your limits, making you sweat and struggle, but ultimately helping you become the best version of yourself. It's through these trials and tribulations that we discover our true potential, our true strength, and our true self. We often see adversity as a roadblock, but what if it's the key to unlocking our true potential? You might know Thomas Edison as the inventor of the light bulb, but do you know the story of his failures and resilience? Thomas Alva Edison, born in the mid-19th century, is synonymous with invention. A man of extraordinary intellect and creativity, his name is etched in history as the genius who brought light into our lives. But the road to his groundbreaking invention was not as bright as the bulb he invented. Edison's journey was fraught with failures. His initial experiments were not successful. His first few versions of the electric light bulb were, in fact, dismal failures. They either burned out too quickly or were too expensive to be practical. He made thousands of unsuccessful attempts, facing setback after setback, but he remained undeterred. In the face of repeated failures, many would have given up, but not Edison. He was driven by an unwavering conviction in his idea and a resolve to see it through. This was Edison's mental toughness at play. He was resilient and tenacious. He refused to surrender to failure. Every failed attempt, every setback was a stepping stone for him, a new lesson learned, a new discovery made. He used these failures as feedback, learning from them and tweaking his designs and experiments accordingly. He once said, "Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time." His journey, filled with obstacles and disappointments, is a testament to the power of resilience and mental toughness. His relentless pursuit and unyielding determination eventually led to the creation of a practical and affordable electric light bulb. It's important to remember that the brilliance of Edison's invention was not just the result of his genius, but also his grit, his resilience, his mental toughness. He embraced failure, not as a final roadblock, but as a detour on the path to success. Edison once said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That's the power of mental toughness. From being a jobless single mother to the creator of the beloved Harry Potter series, J.K. Rowling's journey is a testament to mental toughness. Imagine being on the cusp of poverty, struggling to provide for your child while battling depression. This was the reality for Joanne Rowling in the mid-90s. Life had dealt her a tough hand. Yet, it was through these trials that the seeds of the Harry Potter series were sown. Rowling found solace in the world of fantasy. She channeled her experiences into her writing, crafting narratives that resonated with millions around the globe. The hardships she faced became the fuel for her creativity. She used her struggles as a springboard, not a setback. Rowling spent long hours in Edinburgh cafes, writing her stories on napkins while her baby daughter slept beside her. She faced rejection after rejection from publishers, but she refused to give up. She believed in her story and in her ability to tell it. It was this unwavering belief, this mental resilience that kept her going. Despite the adversities, Rowling persevered. She held on to her dream, no matter how far-fetched it seemed. And in 1997, her determination paid off. The first book of the Harry Potter series was published, marking the beginning of a new chapter in her life. Rowling's journey is a powerful reminder of the strength of the human spirit. It's a story of resilience, of turning pain into power, of using adversity as a catalyst for creativity. It shows us that challenges can be stepping stones to success, if only we have the tenacity to keep going. In Rowling's own words, "Rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life." She chose to rise above her circumstances, to fight, to write, and to dream. She chose to be mentally tough. Rowling reminds us that it's not our circumstances but our responses to them that define us. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison, yet he emerged not with bitterness but with a vision for unity and peace. This statement encapsulates the essence of one of the most influential figures of the 20th century, a man who embodied the true meaning of mental toughness. Born into a society riddled with racial segregation and inequality, Nelson Mandela could have easily succumbed to bitterness and resentment, but he didn't. Instead, he chose to challenge the status quo, fight for equality, and ultimately, pay a heavy price for his beliefs. Mandela was imprisoned for nearly 3 decades. Imagine 27 long years spent in confinement, cut off from the world, and stripped of basic human rights. It's a situation that could break anyone's spirit. Still, Mandela's resolve remained unshaken. He faced each day with an unwavering spirit, a testament to his mental toughness. His prison cell was not a mere place of confinement. It became his sanctuary of resilience. He found strength in the pages of books, in the tranquility of his thoughts, and in the unwavering belief in his cause. Mandela didn't just endure prison. He used this adversity to forge an unbreakable spirit. But Mandela's story doesn't end with his release from prison. He emerged not embittered, but empowered. He didn't seek revenge on those who had wronged him. Instead, he chose reconciliation over retaliation, unity over division. He used his newfound freedom to usher in a new era for South Africa, one marked by equality and peace. The triumph of Nelson Mandela is not just about his political achievements. It's about his indomitable spirit, his unyielding resilience, and his unwavering belief in the power of unity and peace. It's about a man who transformed adversity into a force for positive change, proving that mental toughness is not just about weathering the storm, but about learning to dance in the rain. In Mandela's words, "Do not judge me by my successes. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again." Now that we've seen how these extraordinary individuals harnessed adversity, how can we apply these lessons in our own lives? First, let's summarize the main points. Mental toughness is not an inherent trait. It's a skill that can be built and developed, much like a muscle. It requires consistent effort, dedication, and a willingness to step outside your comfort zone. Thomas Edison, J.K. Rowling, and Nelson Mandela all faced enormous challenges, yet they didn't shy away. They embraced these challenges, using them as fuel to ignite their resilience and perseverance. So how can you start building your own mental toughness? First, adopt a growth mindset. Believe that you can develop your abilities and intelligence through dedication and hard work. This view creates a love for learning and a resilience that is essential for great accomplishment. Second, practice mindfulness. Be present in the moment and accept it for what it is. This acceptance can help you manage stress and focus on what you can control. Third, set clear, achievable goals. Having a purpose gives you the motivation to overcome obstacles, and the satisfaction of achieving your goals strengthens your mental toughness. Fourth, embrace failure. Don't view it as a setback, but as an opportunity for growth. Learn from your mistakes and use them as stepping stones to success. Fifth, seek out challenges. Push your boundaries. The more you expose yourself to adversity, the more resilient you will become. Finally, practice self-care. Mental toughness is not about pushing yourself to the brink of exhaustion. It's about knowing when to rest, recharge, and refocus. Remember, it's not about avoiding adversity, but embracing it as a catalyst for growth. So next time you face a challenge, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger?